All right, are we ready for our second project? This one is something sweet. And I want to preface this by saying I use a lot of tools for this. I try to demo things that show you lots of products so that you can get an idea for things that you might want to add to your wish list. These little bags we sell in the catalog. They are awesome. Little craft polka dot bags. They come in a package of 10 for only $3.95. These are great to just have on hand at home for whenever you need to send a sweet treat to school or to a neighbor. All right, so we're going to start with this bag, and I'm using this wonderful stamp set called Petal Potpourri. It is in the Occasions or the Spring Catalog, whichever you call it. It comes with all these different flower options, and it also comes with a coordinating punch. So make sure you notice this when you order bundle. You know, it'll let you order this by itself and this by itself, and the computer's not going to tell you, hey, this is a bundle. You have to remember to use a bundle number, okay? So they're right here in green, and I will list them on my product information sheet. Okay, so back to this. I'm going to start with this little heart, and I am using Crumb Cake ink. I think it's the closest. And I'm just going to kind of randomly go around and try to put flowers over those little dots. Now, this is not a photopolymer stamp set, so I can't see through it. But I'm just going to try to do the best I can. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. I guarantee you they're not going to be looking at your images to see how well you lined them up. They're going to rip into it to see what you put inside of it. All right, I think that's good enough. In case you're wondering, this little block is block A. This is great for little images if you get the clear mount stamp set. All right, so what am I going to put in it? Well, of course, these yummy little Debbie Easter egg brownies. Hello. Yeah, I got to put them in here and close it up so that I will not eat them. I haven't had any of them. Boy, let me tell you, it's hard. So 2 of them fit nicely in there. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to fold it over. I love this little rick-racky edge here. Very, very cute. Nice way to put an edge on the bag, I think, because it, you know, it isn't just a straight line. I'm going to use one of my favorite tools, the little handheld stapler. I want you to know that if you order the stapler, I made this mistake. It doesn't come with any staples. You have to also buy the staples. I will list both of them on the information sheet, but be careful that you don't order, if you're going to buy the stapler, don't order the stapler by itself. You need to order the staples. Okay, so I just stapled that closed like that. Now I'm using some paper also from the Occasions catalog called Sweet Dreams, and it is adorable. Really, its purpose, I think it was designed for baby, but I haven't used it for baby at all. I've been using it for tons of stuff. This print is my absolute favorite, so that's what I went for. I used our banner framelits. Here they are in the Big Shot. They come like this. You get all these different sets. I use this in the Big Shot, and let me show you a little trick. If your banner, if you need it to be longer, cut your paper this width and then feed it up through here like this, and that way you can make it as long as you want and then put it down here underneath. But I just used it as is, but that's just a little trick to make your framelits go further than what you might think. All right, so I'm going to put this here. I'm going to use my favorite Fast Fuse. So excited that they have added Fast Fuse as a celebration item. It's time to stock up for me. All right, I'm also going to use these pretty little lace doilies. They're called tea lace doilies, and they are super cheap. I think 24 come in a package for just a few dollars. All right, and I'm going to fold that over. All right, now we're going to stamp and emboss. I'm going to use this it's almost like a doily flower, and I'm going to use Versamark. And if you haven't used Versamark before, it is clear, and it's a sticky ink. So when we sprinkle embossing powder on it, it hasn't dried yet, so that embossing powder sticks to it. It holds onto that embossing powder. All right, so there I've got that. Versamark. Remember, you need the Versamark. You can't just use any ink to emboss. And this is a tray, just an embossing powder tray, so I don't get my powder everywhere. And this is white embossing powder. So I'm going to sprinkle this on. This is a fun technique with big wow factor. I think it really is fun to do this. All right, let me just show you. You can take this and empty it down here. There's a little spout. I'll do most of it later, but I just wanted to show you that's a really cool part of that tray, why I like using it. All right, so now I'm going to use this punch, the medallion punch. I'm going to turn it over. Actually, hello, what am I doing? I got distracted by the cute little spout. I've got to heat it up or it's just going to wipe off. This is our heat tool. You saw me use it in the previous video. It has 2 settings. I like the highest because it works the fastest, but it's not going to burn you. It's not as hot as some other heat tools you might have used. Now you kind of have to wait before you see any change. It takes a while for the heat tool to get to the right temperature to change this. And I'm going to try to zoom this in for you so that you can see that it's going to change over to like a shiny texture. There, it's starting to do it. So you have to go all the way around. Make sure that you get all those. You can kind of see the difference. On the left side is shiny and the right side's dull. So you just keep going and you want to move it around. You don't want to hold it too long in one place because it can scorch your paper. All right, that looks good. I can kind of turn it and see if it's shiny in all the spots. All right, now it dries pretty quickly. Give it a couple of seconds to cool off. And then we're going to stick this in here, and you can see, make sure it's dry. Yep. You can stick this in your medallion punch, and you can see we have a skinny petal, a fat petal, skinny petal, fat petal. So you might have to turn your punch a little bit to line those up, and it's going to punch it out perfectly, just like that. Okay, love it. Now I'm going to use a celebration set, another new offering from Stampin' Up. This one is called Nature's Perfection, and I'm using this butterfly. And you might not notice on the paper, but it has a coordinating punch. See, it doesn't even tell us, but it does coordinate. Can you see that? It does coordinate with this butterfly punch that's in the big catalog. Perfect, right? Love when that happens. So I'm going to use that and my StazOn. This is block C, in case you're wondering, and for the flower, this is block D. All right, StazOn. StazOn black is my favorite black. It stamps on anything and it doesn't smear. Well, let's see. I might need to re-ink my pad. Let's try that again. That's better. All right, so now I'm going to turn this over and punch it out. And I'm going to use, again, my favorite dimensional right there in the middle and put that there. All right, now I noticed that I did something. You notice what I did backwards? I put this under here and it needs to be on top. There we go. All right, now we're going to use another dimensional. You guys, I have to pay a lot in shipping when I ship my cards because I put so many dimensionals. All right, I'm going to kind of do that so he looks like he's flying. And the last part is this twine, and you're going to see me do it again later on. This is another free celebration pick. I'm telling you, these new ones are awesome. These cute little, look how cute they are. The In Color twine. I'm going to cut off a piece and kind of untwist it from one end. You don't have to untwist the whole thing, but just get it kind of loose where you can start pulling these fibers out. And you'll have to, don't do it so that it makes a knot. Kind of have to keep untwisting. Well, this one's going to be stubborn. All right, let's twist it, untwist it a little bit more like this. Just kind of long ways, so loosen it up. And then we'll pull some of these guys out. There we go. Now we're working. All right, I do this just because I like the thinner look. I use it without doing that a lot too. All right, so I'm going to use 3 or 4 of those little strands together as one. And there is my little bow that we need to trim off. Let's see, I don't have my ribbon scissors. There we go. All right, my glue dots. Put that right there. And lift it off with my scissors, makes it a little easier. And there we have it. Easy peasy, right? Lots of products you could simplify without using all of them, but I wanted you to get a taste for some of my favorite products, some of my favorite tools to use. All right, Stay tuned for project number 3. And again, find me on Facebook. Ask me anything you are wanting to know. Thanks. Bye-bye.